And the golden rule in our organization and in our business is you can only elect to supply the retailer once. If you don't supply the retailer, you get that opportunity only one time, because the second time you don't even get the opportunity to deliver him late. You're just out. My parents took over the company in 1993, so the biggest part of my childhood I spent over here. Also, you have like job students, which is a system in Belgium that you have to do. Normally you can do that from the 15-year onwards, but of course my dad didn't allow me to only start at 15. I had to come already at the age of 12 and help out in the company. So from that perspective, I already had a little bit of quite an insight in how the process was going on and running. But yeah, that's through the eyes of a teenager, through the eyes of somebody who just turned 31. That's a totally different ballgame, I can assure. My parents said first you have to start working at another company to make sure that you can see what you will miss if you choose to be the owner of a company. And that's the biggest difference. If I didn't like it anymore at my previous employer, I just write my resignation letter and I'm gone after 2, 3, 4 weeks. When I took over the shares of the family company, if I don't like it anymore, I still have to be there the next day. So that's not a choice anymore. And that's why you need to have 1000% dedication to take over the helm and to really make sure that you really like what you're doing. And that's a decision you shouldn't take lightly. What we are specialized in private label. So that's a bit of our business model. We can produce really nice boxes. We also can sell them at decent prices. We are not the highest price, but also not the lowest price. But we try to focus as much as possible on service and on making sure that we can deliver what the customer demands. And that's quite a difficult one in our business due to the fact that our customers demand shorter lead times than our suppliers can offer regarding raw material. So there's always a difficulty to make sure they have the right balance in ensuring that you have good stock levels, not too high, not too low, but make sure that you can deliver the service to the demands of the customer. That's true, but from the outside world it might be seen that every crisis is a burden, but some of those crises were more or less beneficial for our industry. For instance, Corona, as we make folding carton board mainly for the food packaging and for the retail market, the retailers had a feast at the moment when Corona started. They had their biggest turnover because nobody could go to a restaurant, nobody could go to a cafe, everybody had to stay at home. So what people did is they tried to make the best out of it and bought even a bit more expensive stuff than they would normally do from a supermarket. So we didn't close for one day during Corona, for instance, due to the fact that everybody had to make sure that all the orders which were coming in quite heavily at that time to make sure that it could have been run. Regarding financial crisis, that can be really a hard crisis, but as we are a family-owned company, I think the risk level that we take and the leverage that we do in our financing, which is quite common for family-owned companies, is less than non-family-owned companies, which makes sure that we can stand the financial crisis and we're not that dependable on interest rates of loans, etc.
Motivate the people, make sure the machines are well maintained and working together with good partners like Koenig & Bauer makes it a little bit easier. It's very difficult to find the right people. You don't find the right people on the market. You take people in where you think this can happen and then you teach them in-house. And that's what we do all the time, yeah.
It was much smaller. In 2009 we were having 30 people as colleague. Now we can count 70 people and name them as our colleague. Also regarding the size of the company, regarding our buildings, we more than doubled our buildings. We have 3 enlargements in the last 15 years, which is enormous. So the speed that we went forward is really gigantic. Also, the management is totally different. So I took over the helm of my father as well as the old owner, because I see myself as the second generation of the second family. So we had young management coming in, and together with my commercial director and my production director, we really build out the company to what it is today. And it's absolutely not comparable anymore with the 2009 company that I took over. Now, regarding technology, we have 3 offset presses. We also have die cutting machines, and we have folder gluers, plus a carton erecting machine and a window patching machine. And that's the fixed assets that we used in the production area. One of the most important parts is, of course, to make sure that the production area can produce. And then we're talking about a pre-press, which has heavily involved in software. Software to make the changes in the artwork, as well as develop new boxes in a cut system. First, you look from a desk point of view towards what's possible in the markets. You do investigations. What are the new machines what are the potential different suppliers? You look for what are the potential machines that different suppliers have to offer. You visit fairs like Drupa, where suppliers can offer those machinery. The second part is also that you talk to users. So we have colleagues that we ask them for how are your experience with the different presses that we have. And also one of the biggest importance, of course, is as well that you can look to what experience do we have with our current presses. Are they doing their job, yes or no? And that's why we have invested the last few times always in a Koenig & Bauer press. So at the moment we have 3 Rapida Koenig & Bauer presses, and we are really, really happy with them. Yeah, that really counts for a big time, and especially when you buy your second machine. I always tell people that the first machine is something that the sales guy of your supplier does, or your partner. But the second machine has to be earned by the service department of your partner. Because if your press is breaking down and your production is stopped, the biggest issue is that you probably are in the position that you cannot fulfill the demand of the customer, that you're not able to supply him in time his boxes, which gives him the opportunity to supply the retailer in time. And the golden rule in our organization and in our business is you can only elect to supply the retailer once. If you don't supply the retailer, you get that opportunity only one time, because the second time you don't even get the opportunity to deliver him late. You're just out. So that means that if a press breaks down, we need to have a service department which is here within a really decent, rapid time. And Koenig & Bauer, together with the help of VIFAC, really managed to do that. Now, it's due indeed to the service department of VIFAC and Koenig & Bauer that we considered also Duram, which Koenig & Bauer has purchased a couple of years ago as a serious supplier that we could invest in as a folder, in our new folder gluer. And last year we took the dare step to indeed change from partner, and for the first time we have bought a Duram folder gluer, and at the moment we haven't had any regret about it for a single second. Regarding price point of view, they're at the moment I think a little bit lower as Bobst, that's for sure. Bobst is always priced very high. Regarding machinery, it's a very decent, robust machine which offers a lot of stability. There's still maybe some tuning to do from the last 5% to make sure that the ergonomics are a little bit better, etc. But I think that's something that along the way will definitely come. They have to, Bobst has gone that path already for a few decades, while Duram has only traveled that path for the past couple of years to really have a bit more installed base inside Europe, where they get, I think, feedback on that one. And we see that every remark that we make towards Duram, it's immediately follow up. We don't have to ask again, have you thought about it already? We know that the department in Istanbul are working on it. We know that they try to come up with other suggestions how to solve it. And we're sure most of the time it's logical, they cannot fit in always in our machinery, but we're sure that the developments of the new machinery of the Duram will incorporate all the feedback from convinced customers like us and the other ones that are around Europe as well.
It depends on the season. Sometimes we have a lot of printing which has to go 2 times through the machine. So if we run recto verso, Or die cutting, we have a lot of people from other countries. So in the summer it will be there a little bit more an issue. And here we have a lot of special boxes like crush lock bottoms, and then these two machines will, but it depends on the season in the year.
Yeah, we see that the quality is always rising. The biggest step, I think, Koenig & Bauer made when they were introducing the 20,000 sheets per hour machines. So the 3 machines that we have at the moment can all run 20,000 sheets an hour. And as we are a high-speed printer, we, at least multiple times a day, and I think half of the time we're running the 20 sheets an hour. There were no competitors couldn't offer that service. So that's something that our colleagues also like. They like speed, they like to produce it. Koenig & Bauer was only having the setup that could do that in a stable way without losing the highest quality. So the efficiency of the machinery is one that really beneficials our bottom line, I can say.
And I would like to have them run every day, for every hour, 20,000 sheets an hour. It's not every time possible, not so much the machine, but the printing that we do. But I tell always my printers, if it's a normal job on normal paper, from up without 4,000 sheets, we run 20,000. The younger colleagues don't mind, and they like it a little bit. There is even a little bit of a fight between the fastest printers and the older printers. We put them on the harder machines to operate, so they like it also a little bit.